How's it going, ZX family? Appreciate you guys as always for sticking around and showing so much love still. You guys are amazing. You guys can tell by the title we're going to be talking about everything Solana, really understanding what's happening with Sol right now, because Sol is making some very interesting moves. That is something that we need to talk about, of course. So as we are going into Monday morning, obviously we're starting off a brand new week. It is a very, very important week. We have the G7 summit. We also have the FOMC meeting taking place. A lot of big events taking place this upcoming week, and I do expect market volatility to be occurring. So as we are going into Monday morning, you're seeing quite a bit of green across the board, but Solana SPL coins really showing a lot of excitement right now. You can see Sol is up about 7.5%, Gito Sol up 16.5%, Bonk up 5.3%, Fartcoin with. You're actually seeing SPL token showing a lot of interest. Is there something that we do not know? We're going to talk about that, but before we get into it, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So Solana currently is priced at $156.92, up 6.5% in Bitcoin comparative as well. That is quite a staggering jump in the Bitcoin side of things. Valuation at about $82.7 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at about $5 billion. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. I apologize, I think I said that 2 times, but that is very important. But look at this. Solana data inside Canada. Sol ETFs hit 191 million AUM. Sol Q dominates with 87.6% share. Key takeaways from this report: Canada's 4-spot Solana ETFs now over Canadian dollars at $191 million AUM just 2 months post launch. We know since my last update, I think Solana got the spot ETF live in Canada after our previous updates. But this is a revolutionary moment, like huge moment. Like Canada, the neighboring country, they already have a Solana spot ETF, believe it or not. And you could really see how fast every single country at this point want to take advantage of that. And the fact that Solana spot ETF is live there really shows you the interest towards this digital asset. Having Canadians easily being able to have Solana within their portfolios is a revolutionary moment, to say the least. But you can see Sol Q leads with Canadian 167.5 AUM. CI Galaxy SolX holds about 12.83 million, Purpose Sol at about 4.55, and Evolve at about 3.17 million. Past 30 days, Sol Q added Canadian 14.3 million. May 15th recorded peak daily inflows of Canadian $12 million, mostly into Sol Q. Recent flows have cooled. Average ETF price down about 6.1% in the past 30 days. Of course, as to be expected, market did see a little bit of turbulence. So, of course, that is something we need to keep in mind. But big things happening. Speaking about big things happening, you have seen the dominance going down quite sharply in just the last 24 hours. Quite a sharp groove instantly, which again is always nice to see, especially when Bitcoin is bouncing up. You guys can see this for yourself. Bitcoin is pushing towards the upside. 105,900 right now. Let's actually give it a refresh live. Actually, $106,672. We are, knocking on the door at that key resistance, and a very, very important key resistance for us. If this is able to turn into support, I personally think we could reclaim back even up to $109,000 to $110,000 very fast. But like I said, expect volatility this upcoming week. If you're looking at Solana though, Solana is showing a lot of excitement right now. Of course, we got rejected at that key resistance. We know about the significance of that key resistance. Shout out to, my Solana family who, tune in on a daily basis from the beginning. You guys know about this trend. We got rejected. We came back down to the likes of $142 just over the last 24 hours. We were sitting at $140 Sol. And you can see this for yourself. We have seen Sol jump about 12%, reclaiming back to pretty much where it was quite fast. And this is showing you the interest Solana really has. If you're looking at the on-chain numbers, if you're looking at the activity, it speaks for itself. A lot of excitement coming in, and I think speaking about excitement, we could not be entering the brand new. Obviously, I wouldn't say the brand new second half of the year at a perfect note. I think that is the best way we could be entering. The fact that we're still within the 0.50 fib zone, Fibonacci retracement level. Once we get into the 38.2, of course, what a lot of people overlook when we talk about the 38.2, dominance is still get this high, and we have seen, Solana retest the 38 point, which speaks for itself. In theory, if you want to put this into perspective, if the dominance was where it was late last year or at the beginning of the year, I personally think, Sol would have been trading at $200 plus right now if that was the case. But of course, that's not the case right now. So far, so good. Really like what I'm seeing here. Of course, the target remains to be the same at 166. We want to turn this into support, and then, we could start pushing up to the major levels. But love you guys. Thank you for all your support. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.